Right, okay, it's 7 o'clock. Good evening, everybody. Full house, I guess, which is good. But we have a video recording going on. It is video.
Yes, it is.
We have a video recording going on there. We are sound recording. Okay, we have no apologies for absence. We're all present. We now have a new member of council. So welcome to Claire. The declaration of office has been completed. I've just passed that across there now to Clark, so that's all in order. However many, 62. I never quite, it just, yeah, I like smaller numbers, but okay. Do we have any declarations of interest in items on the agenda? Presumably you will be expressing an interest in the play park when it comes to that, but yeah, we're sort of aware of that. Not aware of any other declarations of interest? Yes, yours one, yeah. Minutes of the Parish Council meeting held on the 7th of March.
Minister of Council was here.
Oh, that's why I'm leaving that.
Councillor Markham, as you were acting chair, would you mind initialing and signing these?
No.
Is that a no, you don't mind?
No, I don't mind. If I said yes, that would mean I didn't mind. Or every page.
You initial every page and the last one signed it.
You've got it signed anyway on the first page.
Yeah, I think we've had so many dates floating around. I think we do need to make sure we read them, that we feed them. Make sure that we are putting the right dates in.
How many pages have you got here?
Depends how much you're all talk, doesn't it? So signed it and...
Well, most of them talk just not actually.
Look, bring your nice boxes, come on.
Oh, God. Getting done, I'll be done.
Date.
I haven't got a clue.
Thanks for that.
You what, sorry?
7th of March.
7th of March? Take it probably.
Okay, thank you. Any ongoing matters arising from previous meetings, apart from the one that's already itemised there? No other matters arising? Okay, but we haven't finished this item yet. Right, it's now 2 months since we sort of, I don't know, postponed, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, when we last talked about the banning order, we need just to take a vote on whether we're now, well, marking it as closed, I guess. Obviously, I mean, the policies we have in place that we might need to institute if need be would apply to anybody anyway. So I propose we close the item on the banning order. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
All in favour?
Yes.
Okay. Now, because of the amount of stuff there is on the finance, that kind of affects what is now coming. It's been proposed that we put finance in at this point and look at the budget and various other items at this point rather than later when it was to have been addressed at item 74. Any objection? All in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll now look at the financial items. Just need to make sure I'm working on the right ones because I started printing some before. Yeah, okay, so have you all got whatever it is you want in front of you?
I'm just thought
You're right. You're right. You've had a lot of information thrown at you since the month end on Saturday.
Yes, you had a very busy day, didn't you?
So, can you just confirm you have all had a pack, seeing as I have been accused in the past of not giving you packs?
Yes.
That you've had all of the information packs, you've all had a chance to ring me and clarify anything.
Yeah.
Please can you all confirm that the video recording? Thank you. So this is the year-end accounts as it stood on 31st. So we've got a balance in the bank of 46,533.20.
That's over the two accounts.
That's over the two accounts. at that point, we had 4 outstanding invoices, 2 of which have now been paid. At that point, and I'll go through them this list of payments for it's approved tonight, but we'll go through that in a moment. So we're at the financial year end. So basically, so have you got the reserves page there, 24? You want the other one? So, yeah, so basically, we were working up until the 31st on the budget that was set in November 21, which showed an overspend. But there was no foresight of how we were going to pay for that overspend. So at the moment now you're looking at a reserve page which basically looks at where we're earmarking funds of spend that is committed.
Yeah.
So we've got committed spend to the contractors that were contracted for 3 years in March 22. We've also got the committed spend to generally run the council. So at this point in time, we have a general reserve as a negative of just under 20,000. At the moment, we will have half the precept coming in April. So things are extremely tight because a lot of this spend will go out before the second precept will come in.
Yes, but in fairness, surely some of the overspend is because some of the streetlights receipts have come in, which we had already factored in.
Yes, but there was no provision of how the contractors were going to be paid for in the previous budget, because it looked at an overspend of 30-odd thousand.
They are variable hours though, so that
Yeah.
is adjustable.
So the point I'm making is that you can't carry on with the current spend with the current precept level. At the moment, with the precept as it is now, you've only got enough to carry on till the end of the year. So what I'm proposing is, I'd like the council to give me permission, is to put all the documents I've pulled together with the use of Scribe, which has saved me hours, that I believe has helped you understand the position, to put them on the web page so it's fully understood, so the public understand the position we are in prior to the public meeting.
Oh, the annual.
Yes. If I can do it around other work, I'm also suggesting, as I might not be in position when the public rights are in, is that we have a mini one before the public meeting where you can come one-to-one and I will explain anything you don't understand in any of that. So that'll be for an hour or two before the public meeting here. We've currently got the accounts with the internal auditor. The internal auditor has got an appointment tomorrow. So basically, last year with the precept we had an income of 52,533. We had a spend of 84,694.77 pence. So I have got the AGAR here, of which we've 2 pages to look at. Which compares the previous year with last year. The variances that we needed to declare are the difference in receipts. The difference there is the refunds of the cemetery, which makes a marked difference in the 2 years, because it overstated last year, so it's now like having a dummy wagon effect. It raised last year too much, so now we're taking it off this year, so it gives us a marked difference. Total other payments is greater, because of the cost of the caretaker, the grass cutting, the grant payment and the clock repairs and the street light adoption is the large part of the other payments. The fixed assets, as I've said over the last couple of meetings, they were reinstated to an actual figure that was to the cost of the council rather than a guesstimate figure. This was agreed with the external auditor when I redid the last 3 years' accounts.
I'm curious as to why there was was that just an additional 5?
You upped it £500 that year, I don't know why.
No, I didn't think we had, but, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
so what was on your last
Yeah. Just I wondered whether that was linked with the query that we had in terms of, was it a council tax statement saying that the increase
But
was 1.3%?
that was the rise last
Yeah,
year, not
no,
this year.
But I mean, interestingly, that rise is about 1.11%.
Yeah, but I don't know why it shows a rise in council tax this year, because we did not raise the precept. Okay, so on the AGAR, it's sheet 4 and 5 we need to deal with tonight. So the figures on page 5 are just the figures as they are. Page 4, the external auditor told us to say no to question 4, so that is compulsory. Question 3 and 6, I believe that we need to say no to be transparent, because I don't believe all spend was done within the powers, and I don't believe there was effective controls, especially in place before May, of the evidence I'm coming up to. And I am not willing to sign this AGAR as an RFO on practices that happened before May. I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to sign it.
Yeah.
So if you want the AGAR to go in with yeses, you're going to have to sign it without an RFO. So that is why it is going with no's in. Any questions, councillors, of what I've thrown at you? I know it's been a lot in 4 days, but I wanted to get it to you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
I
had,
mean, a lot of it we'd had in earlier stage before,
Yeah.
hadn't we?
can you have a vote for me to release this data without supplier names on?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
ones
I want to release all the reports I've given you,
are- right, okay,
but without supplier names on.
okay, I see no reason why, okay, yeah, okay, can we have a show of hands, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. no
So
problem.
as soon as I can, over the next 24 hours, they will go on the web page.
Mhm.
I'm probably being overcautious about removing supplier names, but just so it covers everything.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's it, so that'll get out there. Are the councillors happy prior to the public meeting next time that we have a mini public session?
Yeah. We need to, what a mess would be.
Yeah. I would like to make a request that Liz sits with me, because she has a thorough understanding of finance. She's also independent, is able to see if I'm answering questions in a way the public will understand.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know who you are, the way on that one, I don't know.
It'd be nice to have an independent person there.
You're willing it.
Okay,
You like to call it enough?
are you all happy? Any objections?
No, no.
No objections, no.
Yeah. I've just got to work out my work that it will happen, but it will happen one of those 2 meetings. So, could we just sign the AGAR then? And then we...
Yeah, I didn't check in it.
Oh! I haven't reprinted it. Oh, right, okay. So, I'll have to bring it through tomorrow. Yes, I did correct that, but didn't reprint it.
Okay. No,
Has
I
anyone-
almost said to her, I thought you know.
Has anyone reprinted it since I did it? No. Right, sorry about that, yeah, but we can minute that. You're happy with this air cart?
Mhm.
You can tell I was doing it at midnight, can't you?
Well, my best work is done between 10 and 5.
Yeah.
I do them in the morning. So that's I'm not finished doing all the other things. that I feel I
Okay,
need to do
so
before
the
I
last
go.
bit on the finance is we have some payments to approve. An advert for your clerk, the notice board in the cemetery. Pay- I think we need to thank somebody.
Thank you, Paul.
HMRC, salary, your contractor, clock repair, payroll.
Clock repairs. I thought the clock was-
We've had 2 clock repairs, haven't we? Both of them, one fully
I
and...
thought I'd done 2.
No?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I will double check in the bank account and I'll do it. But,
Yeah.
just make sure we're not reporting it, but I thought because I thought I'd done it the first time round and then.
You had one last month and then the other one's just come. Okay, and then the one that's just come through is the YLCA membership.
Yes, I
So,
noticed that.
The invoices are behind. Do you want to pick 2 councillors just to check through them and sign them? So all you need to do is look at the
Yeah, so
invoices.
have a look at the invoices and sign them if you're,
You just have
happy
to
for
sign
you
the
to
front page, 2 of you sign the front page.
because we're still, I don't know if I'm gratified or, I don't know. Gratified or justified, but it's not just us, at least the parties seem to be causing problems with.
Yeah, the SLCC are working closely with Barclays due to the problems.
Done, do I just pass them to me and I'll do them or what? Can you
I'll
pick?
send you a list and
Okay.
tell you which one's not cleared and
Fair.
I'll send you a couple of lists. Sorry, one final thing, I had a phone call from Lloyd's last week just to confirm a couple of points. We should have that open within the next week or so. Once we know,
Hopefully that'll make things easier.
once that is, we
The
know
moment
it's
we're, sorry, the background to this is that we're running on very limited signatures at the moment because it has taken so long to get Barclays to sort the mandates out that we've actually said, well, okay, let's try running with another bank account, see if we can work that quicker.
as soon as it's open and we know it's working, we'll have you on, Claire.
Alright.
I just do it before it's running.
Yeah, we don't want to upset anything while it's ongoing.
Sorry,
It's all right.
it's not easy.
Just give us a free copy. when we
Right,
can.
go on then, go on now.
Right, where are you going to next?
Meeting.
Oh, have you finished?
I don't think we need to go much on about finance unless you have any questions. You have you know where we are.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
I just wondered whether it might have been worth looking at the year-on-year comparisons of the cost centres. That was all.
Well, I think once it gets out there, it will be easier for people to understand. won't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I
Let's-
just thought with reference to some of the stuff that was coming.
Well,
out, that
we
was
can
all.
bring it in, can't we?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? Bring that out as we go.
Okay. Right. Meeting venue. I think we're probably all in agreement this venue is not ideal. We have inquired into health and safety fire regs issues, which is hence part of our reason, I think, for putting the chairs this way round and limiting the chairs in the way we have. Because certainly as it was previously, I think if anything had occurred, it would be very difficult to evacuate effectively. It's a question of, what else, I mean, okay, when Councillor Markham looked into the grammar school, the feedback seemed to be that, we don't do it on a regular basis, although there are groups that meet there regularly,
Yes.
so it's
Yes.
a bit odd, but oh well.
Yes.
I mean, ideally, to be honest, it would be useful to have somewhere where we had ready access to being able to use the data protector to put up, certainly.
We won't be going to the village hall at their cost, that's for sure.
Can you just confirm the cost that
What
you...
is it costing?
Village hall, £45.
£42 for 2 hours for the main hall.
And Wilton?
Wilton, I can't get back to them until after the weekend because he's on holiday, but
Oh,
I've
we
been
have-
assured it won't be more than £8 an hour.
But Wilton,
Yeah.
it's hardly local.
I know, but the YLCA said the priority is that we get to a venue
That is safe.
that is safe, even if it's outside the parish.
Dolby then.
Dolby hasn't got his village
Then
hall
we'll
anymore.
know.
But the village hall was £46 if it's block booking, but if not, it's £12.50 an hour. So would we be a block booking then, not a per hour one?
Sorry, say that again, Claire.
So on the village hall website, it's £12.50 an hour, or a standard fee for a block rate is £46 for the hall. So I
For
don't,
the hour?
well,
So 12.50 an hour,
This
but
is
for a
what
block
Donna got on an
booking.
email
yeah,
the other
that's
day.
it, yeah, that's what's on the website, so I don't.
What
and
do
it says
they mean
it's
by a
different
block
to pay.
booking? Do they mean
That's
a
the village
day?
hall website.
By block booking, what do they mean?
I mean,
Like 12
Well,
months.
it says, 6 to 11, so that's 4 hours, but you don't need 6 to 11, would you?
No, we wouldn't.
So, I think it's £12.50 an hour, which is not much more than it is, is it?
Works out about we've been charged about 14 here, haven't we, per
I
meeting?
don't know.
Yeah.
If you look at the cost centre,
Varies
it's on there.
between 14 and
8.75.
17.
I'll forward you the email from the village hall.
The only-
Yeah, so I asked for 2 hours,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I know that's what line else
Yeah.
pay as well.
I think we have.
We ask them to match Wilton, and if they don't want to match,
Well, we'll have to get a price of Wilton as well, get a price
Yeah.
of both.
As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
and see if Village Hall will match it, and if not, we move to Wilton.
We haven't got a choice. We
Well,
can't stay here.
yeah.
The Methodist, the only days available is a Friday, because I did inquire about that one, and that's only Friday.
Is the
There's
Methodist
no
hall
reason why
for
we
the
can't
Brownies?
change the day.
Yeah.
surely.
Yeah.
The Brownies Tuesday.
There's no reason why we can't change the day.
You got to say?
There's no reason why we can't change the day.
Well, I don't know that Friday's a good day, is it, for Friday evening?
Won't curtail my clubbing, that's for sure, but don't know about the other councillors.
Going away,
I'm-
going away on Friday night, don't you?
I'm not happy at the prospect of going to Wilton, to be honest, but
We haven't got the funds to pay the Village Hall fee.
Simple as.
What's the local government taxes we can go, doesn't it? We can change under the local, the main one is the local government tax, isn't it? And we are allowed to go to Will now.
We can go anywhere.
Oh, yeah,
we can go anywhere for
go.
meetings.
We can go.
They discourage a religious venue in the Act, but you can even use
it
church.
depends on, yeah, if you're limited, you could
Can
do
use a
that.
church, but they discourage it.
Get the prices in.
Anybody in the public has any idea of any other venue might be appropriate?
That's it.
I would only say with the village hall, having managed that for a number of years, it's cold.
Sorry, it's
Very
what?
cold.
Cold.
It's very cold, yeah. The committee room at the back is,
No bigger than this.
It's not as
is it?
big as this.
It's not as big as this.
so you need the full room, and it's cold.
Where did they use for the polling station?
The Methodist.
Methodist.
Well, if it's audience participation based on Mr Argyle's comment.
Well, it is,
We
but
asked-
I just asked
yeah,
members of the
yeah.
public.
Well, I'm actually answering then in terms of venue. I find the village hall, I go there to Pilates every Monday morning, and I find it quite warm. And I'm doing an exercise that is slow, so I have to disagree with you.
It's just the cost that's prohibitive at the
We
moment.
can't afford that.
I'm sure it's
Maybe like,
Yeah, we might need
would you
to-
clarify it?
Yeah.
Maybe clarify that.
Or we could get in touch with them.
Yeah. So ongoing at the minute, but we're going to have to find some rent.
Can I just ask a question on that? It seems open-ended. Is the next meeting going to be here, or will it be
I
notified?
don't know.
You'll be notified.
It'll be on the agenda, it will, yeah.
No, it's, yeah. I mean, I think certainly in terms of having the annual parish meeting, to not have it in the village seemed to me somewhat absurd. But that is only my personal opinion. So, okay, we might need to look on that. I think if we are in the position, realistically, I think if we are in the position of changing the venue, the agenda only has to go up 5 days before, but I would suggest, yeah, but so.
Oh, sorry,
effectively 5
7 for the
days.
parish.
Yeah,
7 for
the
the
parish
parish.
meeting needs to be 7. But I would suggest, well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're doing them on different days.
Can't get the grammar school for that one meeting.
We could do.
Yeah, for the
One
one
meeting.
parish
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah, that's
idea,
a good-
councillor Charles.
yeah.
Go down that one.
For the annual parish meeting.
Got Margaret's email address,
So-
haven't you?
You can book it.
No.
Right, so it'd mean that we could put more things out, wouldn't it? We'd have more room.
Yeah, it's bigger.
What do you mean all things on?
Say we have the grass cutting map or anything out.
Oh,
or-
right,
yeah,
okay,
things
yeah,
for people to look
yeah.
at. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yes,
So
I mean, as a one-off, they
Yeah.
can't object to that one.
That was the second meeting on the 16th.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
16th, is it?
No, it's the 9th.
Ninth.
April 9th, something like that.
Yeah, the night.
Yeah, the annual meeting is the 9th. Did you get the 16th?
I don't know.
Oh, there's
Just
your
grab these
Karen.
numbers out of the air, don't you? Fair enough. Right, yeah, so if we can look into that for the 9th, I think that makes sense. Are we talking 7 o'clock for both of them? 7 o'clock start for the
No.
annual meeting?
Well, for the second, you've technically got 2 meetings. Are you
Yeah.
starting that
Yeah,
one
the second.
early, or are you starting that at 7 and the public meeting at 7:30?
Do you mean the parish council meeting?
Yeah. What do you want?
I would,
Yeah,
yeah,
7 and 7,
yeah.
Yeah.
that-
and I mean, half an hour for first meeting is possibly
15
more than
minutes
we
then?
need. I would have thought,
15
can't
minutes?
we just say they go on?
You're not supposed to have them together.
Oh,
But
right.
at least if you go half an hour, you've got half an hour and a 15-minute break.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You've got
okay,
a good
fair
ideas
enough.
today, haven't you?
Fair enough.
Okay, so.
Right. Allotments. There's been, I mean, okay, the fees have been coming in, and the majority have come in.
All but one.
All but one, right. Oh, that's not yours still.
No.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
I'll
But,
I'll chase that one for you. So you know what it is.
well, it's a bit, yeah, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I mean, there's been the discussions about, I mean, from my point of view, I've been reading when we have discussions about putting the stakes in for the allotments, in my head, it seemed to me that what we were doing was putting stakes in to mark the allotments. We're not doing the fence, but we are putting the stakes in. But the recent correspondence would seem to suggest that that isn't what we're talking about doing anymore. And I think, I mean, almost there's an argument, because the allotments are so varied in price, and price in, well, in size and price now, because we price them according to the size. I wonder whether it might not be sensible from our point of view, so we can see the reference size, that we peg out the allotments in either full or half allotment sizes with stakes at those points. I mean, you know, I'm essentially an orderly soul. I'd like our allotments to be a little more ordered.
Well,
But
we can't-
that's not going to happen. I know, I'm not suggesting changing that, but I just think, because if we then start putting posts in all over the place, then that doesn't seem sensible.
The point is,
We-
to re-fence them allotments is going to cost you a few thousand.
No, I'm not talking about
Yeah,
refencing. I'm literally talking about putting corner stakes in.
At the moment, steaks are between £6 and £8 each plus VAT. They are not cheap.
But at the moment, we have allotments that are really poorly fenced.
I know, but then there's no income from them to pay for that.
The others used to fence their own.
Huh?
Fence their own.
Well, that in theory is what's happening now, and we have an appalling state of fence.
Well, that's not our problem. If they want to keep rabbits off, they defence it. We fence the perimeter, surely. It always has been like that. We've never, as a council, you've never ever fenced every allotment.
Never.
No, I'm
Never,
not,
ever.
I repeat, I'm not talking about fencing, I'm talking about putting corner posts.
We've never had them before.
Well, in
Why haven't
part
we made
because
them?
some of those, the allotments, you know, it's certainly the sizes and dimensions of them, they kind of seem to have migrated. And if we actually had posts in at regular intervals, then it would be easier to ensure that the fences were put in the appropriate places.
But we can't change them.
No, I'm not suggesting changing them.
And it would cost about £1,000
Yeah,
for all
and we haven't got that money. So it's a...
Well,
Why don't
Yeah.
we just give them the number and make sure,
Give
Make
them the
sure
number
that-
and put it on a post.
put it on a post, or even us put it on a post.
Just wants one post.
I thought it was one post, one allotment, one number,
Yeah.
end of.
Yeah, end of, yeah.
That's what it was.
Mhm.
And if they want it fencing off, they fence it off.
Yeah, again, I was only talking about stakes, I've never been talking about fencing.
Well, steaks are not that cheap, as Carrie says.
A 3x3 6 foot long's £6 plus VAT.
Which is, I mean, realistically is considerably cheaper than our grass cutting, but there you go. Okay, the caretaker compost heap. Do you want to talk to the changes there?
Yeah. What we're doing is we're moving to the side.
We're supposed to be trying to make that compost heap smaller so
Yeah.
we can do one more smaller allotment.
So we can fit another allotment in there.
But we do have a problem with people driving and dumping on the allotment at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think you need a lock on the gate, and somebody needs to have the key.
That's the only way for the mini digger, isn't it, unless they go and get it through the archway.
Henry stopped one the other day, dropping his load.
Because it needs a chain round the gate then.
The only other thought was, if we changed to a larger bin like you were suggesting, would we need the compost heap?
Tried.
If we actually got rid of it, would it stop the whole issue?
As long as someone doesn't go and fill the bin up in one go.
Yeah.
As I said, on Saturday,
Oh, right, so, sorry, I was conflating this in the next one. So this is, people are bringing rubbish
Yeah.
on and dumping it onto the
Yeah.
compost
You know the
heap.
big gate, they're reversing in there and dumping stuff
And
and then
offloading
driving
it.
off. I've
there
seen a
was
couple
two
of them.
lots dumped this weekend.
Mm. Yeah, I think certainly we need to control that development, don't we?
I think we need to get rid of the compost heap.
When
Yes,
are we-
but as
when
I
are we
say,
gonna
we're
have
just
a burn
putting a
up?
bin in, and we
When are we going to have a burn up and get rid of it all?
Well, he does periodically. Every now and then he does, because it's something that you know, it gets added to on an ongoing basis. Now, you know, another alternative is that he removes it all off-site and we then have to pay each time he goes up and...
How much was it to get rid of the last lot?
Sorry?
How much was it to get rid of the last lot of stuff?
Is it £600? £600, £800?
It's an 8-wheeler with a grab on for 300.
It was about £600.
Yeah, I think it was...
In the previous year,
It was
wasn't
in
it?
that sort of region, it was six to £800, I think.
That was with loading with mini digger, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if you can get it with gravel, I think they're about 300. Plus miles. That's a 17 ton.
Then you can put
Because if he moved, because he's got lots of the ton bags, if he moved to put in his compost into ton bags, and they're got rid of, because they're easy to get rid of once they're in ton bags, rather than having a heap, we wouldn't have dumping issues.
Well, we would hope not, but I would have hoped we wouldn't have had dumping issues anyway. exactly community thinking to do so, but there we go. Yeah, I think it certainly seems like we need to do something if that's happening on a significant basis, which it seems to be at the moment. I mean, there was a bit of that, but that sounds like it's more extensive than used to be the case.
Chain and padlocks, the only way.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think in the short term, I think, yes, we need to do that.
Well, unless they bring in a bloody car with a trailer on it.
None of the
That's what
allotment
was on.
holders use that gate.
Sorry, say again?
The big one, none of the allotment
No,
holders use it.
No, I mean, we did have a debate as to whether we needed to retain it, but it's only occasionally that we need access to that gate. But I think, yeah, in the short term, while we consider what else we might do, I think a padlock and chain is certainly needed, just to exercise some control over that. Any objections?
Didn't you say sometimes the cemetery use that gate? You said it sometimes.
No, to go and digger in order
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
whether be able to get a key for somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean,
With keys, I think
we
you've got to
will
go.
have keys. Adam's my good bag of keys.
I mean,
But yeah, we will have keys, but if they're going into...
they're going to put in that kind of going around.
They're taking the digger into the cemetery, which they don't
They
do.
contact you anyway.
They would contact us, yeah. Okay,
You've got to
so
get rid
we
of
will
it.
get Darren to sort the padlock and chain, shall we, or is someone else
I'll
going?
get it.
Right, you'll
Um,
sort it, okay.
And then ultimately try and get rid of the compost heap.
Yeah.
To make it into allotment, not just to clear it, because then you'll just fill it back up again, won't you?
We'll have to have a small area for any soil that comes out of the grave,
Yeah,
but
it's
3/4 of it we could make into allotment. We just need a small area to put any soil.
I mean, the initial proposal was that we were going to sort of effectively get something approximating a half allotment, wasn't it? By
Yeah.
moving
But I think we'll get more
compost
than
heap,
that
but
if we
well, it sounds like there's an additional issue which we need to find a resolution on. Yeah, because I think you'll probably find the same people will then complain that, the allotments aren't being kept or what have you. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll get a chain and padlock, see when we can clear the fire, clear the compost.
You got to replace that piece of rail at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, you said rail.
Alright, so, we'll come back to that when we find out what's happening next month, I think.
The only
So we've got the manure, we've got some manure deliveries that have been
Yeah.
problematic. Have there been, there was one, so has there been another?
Yeah, there's one at the front end, but it's slowly disappearing.
Is that compost heap in the wrong place still there?
Yeah, and more's been put on
Sorry?
that. More's been put on that as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 2 and 4. Is it all from that?
All
Is it all up and down
yeah.
next to it?
problem was that one at the back, it was,
Yeah, the one at the back seemed to have been put
Full of
over the
rubbish.
gate, wasn't it?
yeah, and it was put next with allotments that
Mm.
didn't want it there, so it's creating conflict. So, and the trouble is, the second one was put in front of a path, so it was a trip hazard. People couldn't get to their allotment.
That one's slowly going down.
Yeah, that's going down very quickly.
Is it?
Don't know where it's going up.
So that's just to know where they got.
I mean, it's... Bringing manure on is discussed within the tenancy agreement, isn't it?
They're not supposed to put it in the communal areas.
No, absolutely. So it's it's not that it's something that they can assume is allowed, because it clearly isn't. It is stated quite clearly it doesn't go into communal areas.
The trouble is it can cause a slip trip hazard, especially now from the gateway. If someone comes in and slips and hurt themselves, it's liable.
Do you put it there?
No, that is the problem.
I was going to say, 'cause otherwise what's the penalty? Do we
give
contact
them, give them notice. They've breached the tenancy.
That mucky at the top has been there for years.
But that just seems to arrive, all that plastic.
No, that mucky area has been there for the last 15 to 20 years.
But when you went with me, you showed me them sheets up there
Yeah.
that were asbestos. We could walk that bit. We walked up that bit. That's all of that. More's arrived since we did that inspection.
Comes through fail and chips it down for them, instead of having to carry it to the bottom. That's what it's for. And it's been done for years, because Tony Mook had that allotment, and he got his muck off it at the same time.
It's just all that plastic that's come with it, isn't it? Rubbish.
Any suggestions from council?
Just monitor it.
Yeah, I think I mean, ideally, yes, we need to find out who's in contravention basically of the allotment agreement and give them fair notice that if it persists, they will lose their allotment. It's, I mean, particularly we're talking about people, well, I mean, in a sense, okay, wherever it is, if it's not according to the tenancy agreement, then they're breaking their tenancy agreement.
Alright, it was done right on the path as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Okay, well, monitor and let us know if we get any specific information, I think. Alright, the Moorfield tenancy. There has now been payment, but I gather the contract has not yet been signed, which is late. Payment is arguably late. We previously did have a discussion as to whether we wish to obtain Bullfield as Bullfield. Well, not the Bullfield obviously, but as grazing area. One suggestion was that some of it is split off to provide some additional allotments. The other issue is the fact that the tenancy agreement has not been signed.
She'll have to sign it, won't she? She can't-
Well, if she doesn't sign it, she doesn't have,
I'll put it out to
Tenancy.
tender again.
sorry?
I'll put it out again. If she can't sign the tender thing, then put it
Yeah.
out again.
Put it out to tender again.
There's a reason why she hasn't signed it, look.
She's,
It's because she's wanted to do the monthly payment.
well,
She's paid in
separate.
full, but she's not
Oh,
signed
Yeah,
the new,
she's
new
just paid in full.
terms.
She just hasn't signed the agreement. Yeah.
Well, if she keeps going on this, she'll be claiming,
Being a sitting tenant, yeah.
yes,
That's the problem.
Yeah.
we can't get
I mean, I
around that.
think,
This'll be her 5th year that I know of.
yeah. And I mean, again, that was part of the reason for some of the objections, well, why is it only for a year? Well, because it's a village resource and we have a duty to give others the chance to tender for it, and yes, we should be getting a reasonable income from it if we can. So what should we,
Can you give us so long to sign it then?
She's supposed to have done it in the month before the end of the contract, that's in the contract.
Oh, right, okay.
We just can't wait past that, is she?
Is this
the
contract,
tenancy
is
came
it
to an end
tenancy for a
31st of
year
March.
or what?
You said
Sorry,
one, you
say
said
again?
1 year.
One
You
year was
instructed
what
me
we're
to-
saying this one.
Yes, but it should be 360 days a year, not 365.
I don't get that.
Well, it's to avoid this sitting tenancy issue, but I don't think, I mean, there's a contract there and the contract has an end, I'm not sure that necessarily is, I mean, the change, I think, I don't know what. It's probably not on the same basis as static caravans, but I think legislation has changed slightly with regard to that, because there used to be a stage where people had to come off some parts for a particular length of time
Yeah.
to avoid that. I think that may have changed.
So what would you like me to do?
I've recontacted her and asked if she's going to
Yeah.
sign it, and if she
Well,
doesn't get back to you
we
and sign
send her,
contract,
yeah, I think we send her a letter and we say, if you do
you
not.
give her 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
and if she doesn't get back
Well, I
to you,
think
then...
we give her a week, we give her a week to
7
sign it
days.
and return it,
We're 7 days, yeah.
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 Don't get it wrong. We'll have to take her off.
Start again. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, from our point of view, in terms of dealing with it on a monthly basis, I mean, it's, you know, it's, I think that would give us additional issues anyway, and it's not realistically that huge a cost. Any other comments on the opinion? Okay, so you send that out, so give 7 days for her to return it, and if not, then we will put it out, back out to Penny, and she will need to vacate. Right. 468, caretaker. What should this month's priorities be?
The cemetery.
Continue burning that rubbish.
Burn that rubbish that's there. Burn that myself tomorrow.
Checking benches.
Yes, we're going through on the,
There's a few
going
that
through.
are including the one that we disposed of on Monday. That was badly damaged on Sunday.
It was damaged on Sunday.
It was reported collapsed.
It collapsed on Sunday.
All the tenants had snapped off it.
Sorry, what?
All the mortise tenons had all snapped off, rotted off. So it's beyond economical repairs all.
So asset 22 was written off. Considering what we've just gone through the finance, do you want the hours reducing?
Can you do that with a contract?
There is a clause in it that the council can vary the hours.
Yeah, the hours were always put as, and I mean, his hours have been higher, haven't they, I think, than certainly the lower end of the contract. I think it was between, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was between
12 and 15. 12 and
Is he paid per hour?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, that's just the.
Described it all as stand.
I'm sure it's 12
Caretaker's paid 15.
12 to 15.
There's less in winter and more in summer.
Mm. Yeah, it's always been an overall average, isn't
And
it?
it's averaged out.
We need to look into that one, I think.
Flag, not to go. That's the copy I've managed to find.
You.
Copy of the there is a bit old adverts on the ground.
But I think they quoted their hourly rates when they put in there. They do have to
Because he comes every week, doesn't he? Between 12 and 15 hours.
Yeah, as soon as I've done
Just go to the cemetery.
You need to see a worksheet what he does, basically.
Well,
you've
you've
got-
got,
we do,
you've
we
got,
get a
the, you've got
worksheet
the
every month.
invoices in there.
Yeah.
It tells
You
you
get
exactly what he's
worksheets every
done
month.
on the payment list.
yeah, they're not permanent.
And if you haven't seen him for 2 weeks, where's he been?
I've never seen these.
What he's doing down that alleyway, you know, where that
Well,
ivy
you've been
was.
clearing
it.
That's a right mess, he's left that in a right mess.
Yeah, it's robbed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take a look. Anything else that needs to be done this month? So we're talking April. We've, at the moment, well, the cemetery grass cutting and the churchyard grass cutting is separate. That's a separate contract.
Well, at the moment, I've told, he wanted to know about the cutting of
In the churchyard.
Yeah, at the moment, he's just cutting the path.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, I mean, it was you, was it, Margaret, that sent those photos of, was it in Wiltshire? The grass, the
All
wild.
the lovely,
Yeah, I mean, I picked up, I've brought in a wild gardening book, but it's really about wilding gardens. And, you know, it's just something we've discussed with a view to perhaps encouraging the churchyard to be.
Yeah, bringing some
More of
grants
a-
in for the wildflowers and
Yeah,
historic places.
yeah. I mean, I think if,
Future.
I would try and get hold of some, I mean, we could do with some guidance, I think, on, you know, what to do, when and how, but for the moment, basically just suggested that he cuts the paths wide enough so people can access, but longer term, we would look to rewilding it. Now there'll be some management in the early stages of that work, there will be some management long term, but there will be less management than there is for the grass cutting as it does, and I think it will create a really nice area and a wildlife friendly area, more so than just straight grass. But, you know, it might involve us, yeah, sort of taking out some, you know, sticking in some stuff like yellow rapid and stuff to weaken some of the grass and building up the natural plant life and stuff. Yeah, so if anybody comes across anything that I think might be useful. But for the moment, that's why the churchyard may not look the same way it is, because we're planning long term not to be sort of close cutting it. Although it still needs to be accessible.
I think you better check round the benches as well in case there's any more like that one. 'Cause that
Yeah,
lady
you've got
was
benches
sat
to
on.
check. So at the moment, he's done a cut in the cemetery, hasn't he?
Yes.
You know the very back of the cemetery, that's just grass?
Yeah, the top end.
Do we need to cut that every time?
Realistically, no.
no, no.
We need to cut round the current graves.
Yeah,
No,
we could,
absolutely.
if we marked,
Yeah.
pick
An area.
a stretch,
Yeah.
if it was a grave
Yeah,
length
'cause
past
there's like
the
a-
grave,
there's like
so
a
anyone
quarter
could
of it.
walk.
Yeah, there's like a quarter of it that realistically
So
certainly
three-
doesn't need to be cut
So
every time.
3/4
Yeah.
of that block could be not cut
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just trimmed at the end of the year to get it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Still need to leave access to the bench up the top, though, don't we? There's a bench up at the top end, yeah. So just need to ensure that the cars don't become over and...
That bench isn't very good now.
No, but I think that's one that it's worth looking at either repairing or replacing, yeah. Commercial waste, what's that in
Oh,
reference to?
it's it's still ongoing, it's trying to look at cheaper options than what we're currently paying for waste to get away. And we've only got a small,
Away from where?
the wheelie bin at the cemetery, you know, we pay Rydal District Council for
Right.
that. The bill's just come, that was last year's, we've just got the bill down for this year. Apparently it's moved fortnightly, but there is options that Paul gave me last time, and I need to get the name off him.
Thornton.
Was it Paul? You've fallen
Yeah.
asleep again?
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Right.
Yeah, Brunton.
It was a larger bin, which may allow us to then not have the compost.
1100 litres.
Yeah, rather than just a little bin. Are they 205 litres then, little bins?
Yeah, yeah.
And that would let us, you know, we have more flexibility and not have a compost heap.
Yes, but so what's RDC taking away? So what is that fee for?
That
Emptying
that
those
would
bins
empty
at-
that wheelie bin, that one wheelie bin in the cemetery.
Cemetery.
It's a lot of money.
You might be able to put some of them diggings into that big bin as well.
Grave digging.
Yes.
Yeah, you can keep them.
It's not.
But we're wanting that soil to fill in the hollows, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right,
At
yeah.
the moment, there's an awful lot of ups and downs. Like that.
Quite the flexibility you can get in one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was, huh? Okay. So,
So are you looking something up? Or?
Yeah. I can email. It's on a mission.
he found the new Bruntons. So, that's the option, is to see if we can get
A big one.
a bigger bin, a more economical,
Yeah.
because also we'd be able to put in flower things
Mm.
that we can't get into the other, that costs us if we take the tip.
Mm.
You can't say about 18 or 24 and empty. What's that? Is it 18?
Something like that, I think.
And you can go up to 28 days between empties. You can ring them up, as long as you don't go over 28 days, you can ring them up after 1 day, you can ring them up after 27 days. So it's variable.
Oh, right.
Well, if you speak to the right
Certainly
manager.
might be, certainly worth looking into, right?
Okay, for the name.
Okay. Grass cutting contract.
Yeah, so he's sent these things, basically looking at starting on the 14th of April, doing 2 in April, 2 in May, 2 in June, 2 in July.
Every
Yeah.
fortnight, right the way through.
But
Not all of it needs to be cut. We do that, does it?
well, what I'm wondering is if June, July and August could have dropped to 1 cut.
Well, I think we could cut to 1 cut a month. Particularly in the summer, because the grass doesn't grow that fast, does it, if it's really hot?
So
Only
if
if it's wet, so
if it was done twice in April to get it all under control, then drop to 1 month.
Yeah, but you're not going
What
to get
about
it.
your daffodils?
Well, the daffodils as well.
Sorry, say again.
Daffodils.
Yeah, we've got
Daffodils.
daffodils.
So do you want him to
That's
start in
still there at
May?
the moment.
Westgate's very,
I think
very.
some cutting needs to be done. I mean, it's getting quite clunky now. I think you'll find. So that first cut probably does need to be done in April.
The 25th, I guess. The
But-
daffodils.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we went for the so if I said to him to go for the end of the month dates and drop the beginning of the month dates,
Yeah.
so we've got, because that, and then you may have the option to do 1 in October to tidy up. But
I
that
mean,
halves
certainly-
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, certainly as grass is growing these years.
Is our contract allow us to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
I mean, the grass cutting is sort of, well, grown like topsy. Please find that one.
I have, because I found them both on the phone when I was speaking to Claire. 11.1. Happy?
Yeah.
Just thought that he's happy for me to go through them and update, so.
Okay, so, we're proposing that we're moving to one cut at the end of the month, per month. Can I have a show of hands to approve that, please?
I'm guessing if it gets really long, we can actually do an extra one if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some area, I mean, this is, we might hit up against the visibility displays, that's the only thing we might need to look
But how
at.
does it do it that
Well, I
fast?
mean, they don't do
They
them
do
that-
three,
They would
yeah.
never do them, yeah.
That's
they'd
what I
never
mean,
do
if we-
them
if
monthly,
we had-
so,
We'd
yeah.
be doing 6, they'd do 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Do we want to look at the map, or do we want to leave that till next month?
That should be the same as the one you got at home, it's just Rydale. I'll just take a photo of them orange spots that have missed, I'll get them to re-put those in. Anyone can take that away because I can reprint them at any time. Okay, that's the same as what you can see online as well, but it's not as easy to see online. Yeah.
What, do you mean that's the original cutting schedule?
That's as it's marked on North Yorkshire website, and Rydale have managed to print it off, give me a PDF copy of it. We think it looks exactly like the grass cutting map the grass cutter has
okay.
got, because we've looked them side by side.
Yeah.
So it means that we can print it at any time,
But those orange spots are ones that we think we do cut that
That are
aren't on
missing,
there.
yeah.
Right, okay.
and I just need to ask Rydale if they'll populate those two for me.
Mhm. Until we take them all off. I'm sorry.
You are facetious.
Yeah. Other things have been said of it. Sorry, what?
Are you alright?
Yeah.
I came out of Easthill, what I call Easthill Gardens the other day, and I looked to me right to Scarborough and I couldn't see nothing. There's some bollards at side at road, and they're all in a line and totally blinded out. Something wants to be done.
Sorry.
Is that
I'm not
highways?
understanding.
That's highway.
Highways.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you mind pointing out where it is for me?
On the map. Which way you
Well,
should
if
go out
you-
the
if you
far-
On the map.
But so
Look
that's
on the map.
right up top.
Yeah.
You should go.
I think that is.
So are they doing any works there?
No,
Very top of the garden bit's gonna make that.
just as you're coming into Thornton, there's these bollards at side at road. But farther there, you can't, as you come out at, as I call Easthill Gardens, you can't see to your right for them. It's totally blind.
That's one there.
Oh, Scarborough. So,
Very.
and were they doing some works there?
No,
No.
they're permanently there, is these bollards.
Road is down there.
Right. Okay.
Big football house, not so much else.
Just fit it's not a photo of them in daylight for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I can email North Yorkshire, not that they'll give me a reply. Okay.
Okay, so that's, anything else on grass cutting? Okay, training. We've got, sorry?
No, it's
No,
further down.
no, 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 no.
I have got yours.
There was a few ones all day.
Getting ahead of yourself there. Yeah, it's on item 72, it's on next page.
Don't you do a margarita on me, that's the wrong one.
I've got the right one, she's got the wrong one.
Either way, we're now looking at training.
Right.
So, I've booked that face-to-face one. 20th,
the 20th, wasn't it?
20th of July.
That was 3 to 5, am I?
3 to
3 to 6.
6.
Yeah,
Here.
wherever you choose to
We'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah.
grab a venue.
Well, I mean, that can certainly be done in this room. That's, it's sufficiently large for that.
Have you self-booked on these ones you
No,
want?
what is you to say?
Well, we do have in the training schedule that we recommend the starter ones, don't we,
Mm.
the counsellors?
Yeah.
So to me, I would have said the starter ones and the chair ones, the council should sort of do, but any others, because we're tight.
I don't mind paying for any myself, actually.
Yeah.
I think we ought to
I'm
pay
happy
for
with
this.
that. Say I've been on some anywhere before.
We all pay our own.
Well,
I'm sorry, if we're tight for money, we pay our own.
I am paying for my own silver, which is £1,000.
yeah, but you are paid.
Well, you get the
There is a
benefit.
difference, you are paid.
So, are you happy to pay for £1,000? Book on, you can self-book on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
you want,
Yeah.
yeah? Maybe it's another thing we can ask for a grant for.
Mm.
Yeah. There must be some grants out there for training.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would be received, to be honest. But we've got that, the face-to-face.
I think the council should pay for that says to
Oh,
go.
sorry. Sorry, I don't actually think council should be paying for training courses. I think we have a right to expect councillors to go on training courses, but I think the council should be paying for them. Because you could very easily get into, well, into the discrimination issue at times, accessibility issue. So I think we need to think very carefully about instituting something like that, particularly with volunteer people.
We just need to dictate that you've got to do certain courses, but then you've got to pay for yourself, isn't it?
I just don't think that's right. If we want councillors to be trained, which we do, we should pay for it. I think it's a bigger argument for cutting back on the grass cutting. We ought to have properly trained councillors. I think that might be one we come back to and consider. But I think we need to think a little more carefully about, what is expected of us, I guess. I mean, we get the YLCA courses sent out, sometimes we get stuff from now. YLCA tend to, they tend to repeat them fairly frequently. I think we might want to look at meting out how much we do when and where, but to ask volunteers for paid courses, I don't think is reasonable. I mean, to be honest, their fees aren't usually very high. You're talking £25, £33.
Anyway, how about meeting halfway?
We've got the option. If you want to take the money, you can. If you don't, you don't.
How about
Yeah, I don't mean all of them.
I mean
the ones that
it,
you off the flying start.
yeah, the flying start and the developing skill.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable for us as a council to have a training budget. But, and there are certain courses that it would be certain training that is certainly well recommended, so the flying start and
That's one of them.
the skills, yeah, and see those, I think, are the ones that all councils should do if they haven't already done.
Everybody's taking the course.
Well, okay, can we put that on to discuss further in May, or discuss again in May, and sort of have some thinking time, but certainly I think those initial courses, we should,
Decide to do it early, can always be reimbursed now.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, grants, is this where we come to the show part? Grants, so we're considering requests, we have a request in from the play park, do we not?
Yeah.
We're asking for the full amount for their grass cutting this
For
time.
3 years.
Yeah. I'm not sure we can commit ourselves
No,
for 3 years,
No,
realistically.
there is some of the grants out there we can probably help them get.
Yeah, well, certainly, yeah, actually that might be a better way of doing it. If we
And
direct them and give parish council support to an application.
And what about the days we've reduced the cuts by half, haven't we?
Yeah.
How about on those days, we absorb the cutting of their fields on those days?
Yeah.
Which contractor cuts the,
Same person.
Yeah, same.
The same person cuts them.
as a caretaker?
No,
No.
no.
The grass cutter, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, there's 6 cups there, isn't there?
I'll let them have 6 cuts and then make their decision what they want to.
Is that to the benefit of everybody in your village?
You've got a proportion of young children
Yeah,
and
no,
young
that's right.
families, it's looking at the proportion of benefit.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right, everybody has grandkids and somebody like that, they all want a playing field. We want to keep it there.
There's always
I want
children
to
in it,
keep
isn't
it.
there? Local children as well.
Well,
And you
Well,
do
there are
have,
good children.
you do have a power to spend on that, whereas other grants we've given, we didn't have a power to give the grant for.
But in our grant scheme thing says that we don't pay for it, doesn't it? They should, every grant
Yeah.
should be willing to contribute their own funds to the project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What they were
that's within
trying-
match funding.
Yeah, it was they were trying to build the project around the resurfacing.
Yeah.
They were trying to say, there's quite a bit of resurfacing.
Well, yeah, they're talking about
And there's something had to be replaced, repaired, so
Yeah.
they were
Repairs to
presenting
the
it,
slide of the rocking horse.
they were presenting it as a full scheme and just asking for part of,
All
so,
right, sorry.
do you-
Do you want, have you?
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
yeah, so, yes, it's all the grass cutting, but they're presenting it in a whole plan, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do have a lot of risk there.
Could we get a grant from?
Well, this is my question, is whether they could get a grant from the coronation fund that's for open
Yeah.
spaces.
Yeah,
There's also the games in Birmingham.
yeah. I think you give them a hand to do those two.
Is a UK shared prosperity.
Also North Yorkshire funding in May that we apply to.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want to give so much, absorb some cuts, or what?
Well, we can give them those 6 cuts, can't we, grass?
We,
And then I
well,
think
what
we
we
give them
have
help.
done in the past is, in theory, given them 4 cuts a year, I think.
Well, we're gonna get 6 this
Yeah.
year, and then we give them some help getting some grants covered.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly support any grant
Yeah, yeah.
applications,
Yeah,
so that has,
Yeah.
parish council backing.
Then if you give more fixed cuts, you've got no leeway if you then want that cut.
But I think we have to leave it as, that's what we're doing this year.
yeah, yeah. And just give Annie a bit of help.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're all agreed that for this year, we will include them in the cutting schedule, as it were, on the
Yeah.
6 monthly cuts.
Yeah, well, we've cut
And then
ours
we'll
down, make
review
that ours.
next year, as we'll be reviewing.
I thought that was cut a bit more often, was playing field to keep it short.
But they could maybe.
We just go
Yeah,
with
but
6,
they've always done some of the cuts themselves. We just did some of them to keep their costs down. We've never done all their cuts, well, never previously done all their cuts. So, I would, I don't know, propose, I suppose, that we, yes, they are included in our 6 cuts for this year, that we will probably support them in any grant applications that they may make. And this is something that we will review next year, because I think our sort of grant application says that we do it on an annual basis, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you are able to do more long-term if you can. You are allowed to do a long-term.
Well, I think because we've been talking about
Yeah,
some
but
aspects of
things
the
are
precariousness of our funding, I think we need to,
Yeah.
certainly we'll go through it for this year, but we'll review it next year. Okay, all in favour? No, right, okay. Right, all those that can vote, did vote.
Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in favour. Of course you've got
I mean, it's always been one of those interesting things, because you don't actually gain any, you don't personally benefit financially. And arguably, anybody who's associated with the village benefits from the village resource. It's always been an interesting one there, because, yeah.
If the council feel it's appropriate that they're allowed to vote, you're allowed to allow them to vote.
Either way, we
Yeah.
don't have a problem,
Yeah.
so that's fine. Okay. Any other? Yeah, I'm not aware of any.
No.
Notice boards.
We've done the one in the cemetery. Yes, we would like one out there, but I don't think it's priority at the minute. We need to try and find a grant for it.
Okay.
We do need one that's easier for people to see and read, but I think we need to try and find a
Well,
grant.
and realistically to put the notices in,
Yeah.
because it's not the easiest notice board to get notices in, is it?
I can't get all the minutes in.
Sorry?
You've got too many pages for the minutes.
Well, you're on a
Well,
good
yeah,
move for me, you might move to lose, you'll lose notice boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we need to look at getting the grant if we can.
How many councillors going to apply for grants out for that?
right.
3 can.
Planning applications?
I'll find you right, just make sure I'm looking at the right one. So, you've all had this in your pack again, haven't you?
Yeah.
The first one is dealing with just replacing the windows.
Is that the returning to, oh no, it is just replacing.
They were
the-
plastic.
Yeah.
Some of them are replacing wooden ones, some of them are moving back to wooden from plastic.
Okay. Yeah, no objection?
No objection.
Yeah, no objection.
this one was the painting.
Just declare me uninterested with that one.
It's not your shop.
No, it's next door.
Okay. So just explain the colour again.
What's your clue?
Well, you said it was a green, but it calls it a fire something.
Yeah, but it's one of them.
Calls it fired earth,
Yeah, it's one
macrolite,
of these
but you say it's
fancy
green.
I think it's a green paint.
Same colour at the moment.
So is it the
Is it?
one that was the bike shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that one they're wanting to paint, and that must be there, it must be this sort of
So is
colour.
that, so it's that colour, it's the colour of the
Florist.
old George's, old butcher's shop that
Yeah.
they're wanting to.
I think that's why.
Any opinion?
No problem, no problem.
Or is it,
Keeps it
does
all
end up
green.
being that sort of appropriate colour, yeah. Yeah, if it comes out as shocking pink, I think that could be a problem.
The one that came through today.
Right, what's this one?
Oh, National Council.
Trees.
Oh, cut trees down.
Right, okay.
Bowling alley.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Oh, this is trees at the,
Squash
the
centre.
hall.
Yeah.
Right.
Causing damage.
So they take the crowns out, but they're still worried about the height of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Going under
right. Yeah, well, trees shouldn't be planted near the buildings.
Two trees adjacent to the north wall of
Right.
squash plant. One fir tree, one ash stroke elm. Well, if you've got an elm there. Oh, you've got to keep in it.
Any on?
Not many elms around these days. These are both grown from saplings but now reaching the size that concerns them. So are they self-sown?
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Should have brought them out when they were little, shouldn't they?
Well, yeah.
Unless they're being growing outside of the tree.
Just make sure Henry sees that, because it came on email today.
Oh, yes, Henry won't have seen that.
Some to the wheel.
Okay, any objections?
No.
No objections. You said you're following on there. Won't stick with my agenda. Upset me. Right, so now on to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Have you got that? And you've got the second. Yeah, you're right now,
Okay. So, this was adjourned from last time,
Oh, yes.
of how to consider non-residential status. You got the word in, the council, something like, the council reserve the right to review and allow burials as residents on a case-by-case basis. This may include but not limited to situations, needs an S on there, surprised you didn't get me that, like the following.
I haven't opened that one yet. I'm really
A
opening it.
person being born in the Mac parish and moving in adulthood in order to find work. A person living and working the majority of their life in the parish but moving in twilight years to live with family or care to receive support. Other scenarios may be considered by the council upon application. Something like that?
Yeah, 'cause I mean, as it stands at the moment, it just says blankly that a resident is one who lives in the village or has within the last 10 years, but situation with regard to end-of-life care has got a little more extended
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
days than I think is formally to be the case.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
don't just leave it that one line that'll be put on a case by case basis, if you know what I mean, rather than giving examples. Do you need to give examples?
Well,
You go on, couldn't you?
There needs to
be some sort
there
of
needs to be some
Yeah.
justification for the case to be made. And what would, I think the reason, the purpose of the exemplars is to say, in these situations, we will consider them if, it may be somebody has something, there might be some other
Yeah.
variation. But that's to give an indication of the sort of cases that we would.
Alright.
So I think probably, I mean, I take your point, yes, arguably you could say, but then on that basis, wouldn't everybody then say, oh, I've always come here on holidays for years.
And I was pre-purchased the plot.
Sorry?
And I was pre-purchased the plot anyway. And locked
Yes,
it in.
I mean, that's always an interesting one as well.
What would places do? I'm just having interest. Because you could get full of non-residents.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then
we've got two scenarios here. We've got one which is a resident in the village. She's a resident in the village, but she's got both her parents' as is. She would like to purchase a plot to bury her parents here. Parents did used to own land here. I don't think it was a house. But she is a resident, so she technically can buy a grave in her name and bury who she likes in it, can't she? Can I not sell her it as a resident? She's a resident. Whose assets she chooses to put in that grave is her choice, is it not?
And how many lots could you put it for?
Oh, for a cremation, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're both in one urn, these, so it's just one, it'd be one interment of ashes, just because of them together, it doesn't matter. Am I allowed council to sell that as a residence plot?
Yeah.
The other scenario is we've got a person that is interned next to his parents. When that happened, he was charged as a non-resident. I don't really know the circumstances, but he was long-term in care. But when he came back, they were charged as a non-resident, but he's already there. They want to just put a memorial up. Can I charge just one residential rate? He's already there.
Yeah, so he's already there. so
Is
it's
there any
not-
need?
I mean,
There's
one-
no need
I
to
get
double
that.
it.
Absolutely.
Okay, happy with that?
Yeah.
The other thing with,
Memorials, the social work.
there is 23 that are loose. They are stood and loose.
And can you get all of the families or not?
There've been pegs there for the last month, and nobody's contacted me, and we don't have the contact details of all these people.
Well, one person said to me, well, if council want to do it, they can do it. They're paid bill, I'm not.
When that, I mean, what would happen then is we would
Just
set
lay-
them down,
just
just
lay them
settle
down,
down.
yeah. So who would we get to do? Would we get a builder or memorial?
You go and buy that insurance, aren't you, now? You had a mason, you had something to do with one thing.
Probably got to be a monumental
Mason to lie them all down.
I think,
So if
Look
I,
into it.
yeah, I'll ask for a quote for laying 23 down.
yeah. And I mean, if the occupants won't take issue, but if anybody related to the occupants wishes to do something different, that they
For
can
a,
do
for a
that.
notice in board,
Yeah,
will they please contact the clerk of the yard?
yes,
That'll be better off giving a couple of months' notice.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
because there's only one or two that I think in all my goodness they're going to go. There's a couple right near the paths, isn't there?
Yeah.
That we're worried about. So they haven't gone yet, so it's
So I mean, would there be any problem with putting that list as it stands up? in
These
the
are all
notice board and
deceased,
saying these are,
these are deceased names,
yeah,
so we're okay with that.
right, so if we put it, is we just put an explanation saying that these monuments are considered to be unstable, unsafe.
I did signpost the lady the other day for the memorial in the back. She had one of the pegs in her grave first, and This side one, not something. I think she could take the number.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a good suggestion that we put it up in the notice board, and I would suggest perhaps on the website as well.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that?
Well, I just put a notice in.
But just put the notice board on the website. I really wouldn't feel comfortable putting
No.
this list of names.
Okay, well, if you say there is a list of names in the notice board
Of monuments.
that are considered unsafe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do it that way.
I just think it's a bit
Yeah.
crass putting that
Yeah,
on the website.
I fair enough, but I think we need to inform as widely as we can.
You can put on the website about
Please contact-
contacting you,
yeah,
yeah,
and Peggy,
yeah.
like you
Yeah.
did on the community page.
Yeah.
Okay, new correspondence?
See, not
Right, okay. Right, sorry, trees, logs, right, okay, so what are we saying there?
This is a response.
Right, oh, this is a response to that. Right. Across all varieties, cherry trees, which is what they were, tend to have a short lifespan, typically around 15 to 30 years. There's a couple of photographs there showing the clear central rot. We tried to arrange to get the logs into storage. The majority have disappeared before it was arranged. You have the paradox where you also, there's the concern about people complaining about the mess that was in the cemetery, which we were also getting at the same time. It's the same contractor that was engaged by the parish council. It's the same.
It was the same
The contractor is the same contractor that was engaged by the parish council in February 2022. When he was contracted, we reviewed his insurance as appropriate. So the suggestion is these were planted in 1992, so they're more than 30 years old now. Okay. Anybody got any further comments? From the page? Right, fair enough. No. Right, okay, that's done that one. Right, any new correspondence?
I've received a few nice emails. Very nice. Thank you very much. There's just the vacancies on the YLCA websites, on our websites, on the notice board.
I think there was concern expressed somewhere in terms of the amount of detail. Well, I mean, as we've discovered in reviewing various aspects of the finances, there are matters that were not being addressed in a way that was either transparent, although in theory we were being transparent, and there are some elements that seem to have been put in the wrong places, or misidentified perhaps. So I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know when we'll get any responses. Presumably we haven't had any responses.
Had one person apply for an application today.
Okay.
Can I just ask a question? Has it been changed to the correct amount of residents in the parish?
Oh yeah, that's the point.
Because it was
totally,
utterly wrong.
Yeah, there is an awful lot more than 650
Oh,
people.
Yeah.
it's 1536. Sorry, yeah. Just
Yeah, well, there is
Is
a
that
letter that's gone in, a
households
letter of complaint to complain
So
about it.
650 the households then.
It's 1536.
So I'm just wondering whether...
There's about
1,800
1,800 people.
Yeah.
That's the electorate. The electorate is 1536. I got that from the electorate
Right,
office.
well, it's more than 650 is what you
Yeah,
initially
I
put.
think 650 must be households, I think, realistically, but
No,
either
there's,
way-
there's
either
over
way-
800 now.
It was a typo.
There was plenty of typos in it. Because are we still in Kirby Moorside?
Not through everything.
I haven't got through it. Not with me. I think we do.
Let's see how much we... Kirby Moorside, right?
The Kirby Moorside is on the website. And it has been since December.
What, for what?
Well, exactly, for what?
No, I'm saying for what? In what context is it Kirby,
It's-
Kirby Moorside?
It's saying that we're in the Kirby Moorside ward. When did we move there? Do you not
On
look
the-
at the website?
On the website. On the
Well,
website
I
it
think
says
you
Kirby
ought
Moorside.
to.
Sorry?
Well,
On the website it says Kirby Moorside. Or the other
On
one
the
is
advert.
yeah, the one
Well,
April Parish.
Yeah, it's that page that we didn't like it.
so are you talking about, you're saying that is on...
It's on the
The
home
council.
page stating that we live in the Kirby Moorside ward. And it has said that since December.
What lives in Kirby?
We, the Thornton Dale is in the Kirby Moorside ward.
Yeah, can you just have a look at that and just find out what...
And the
vacancy
for the clerk was
advertised, isn't
And the vacancy for the clerk was advertised for that as well.
And for their election.
Anyway, yeah, if you could check that. for me.
I'll have a look what she put up.
Right, items for inclusion on future agendas.
Needs to get sorted, doesn't it? It's like it's all-
Right, so I'm assuming from the silence that there aren't any. I mean, okay, checking the website would seem to be one, if we could get feedback on that as well. Get that altered if it's wrong.
Well, a lot of it's wrong because
Yeah,
I
okay,
did
can
send
please
you a
stop
letter,
now?
which I haven't had a reply
No, please
to.
stop now. Thank you. Okay, we've already confirmed the dates of the future meetings, the 2nd of May for the annual parish council meeting, followed by the parish council meeting. Both start, well, the annual parish meeting starting at 7, the parish council meeting then following at 7:30. And the one on the 9th, the annual parish meeting, which is meeting for the public, not necessarily including all councillors, who obviously are able to attend as members of the public, and that will be starting at 7 p.m. Now going to have public session. Maximum of 3 minutes per person, please, and it's not, I mean, basically it's an opportunity to bring items up. Comments will be documented and some responses may be added to the minutes afterwards.
It's a point of clarity really. Looking at your grant policy, your terms of reference that you adopted last month, it does say that groups will be expected to supply the following...
Councillors.
Oh, sorry. I've been invited to speak. Right. Groups will be expected to supply the following accompanying documentation, a list of 4. The first one is a copy of the most recent audited accounts, including an up-to-date balance sheet. Now, I think the issue is for the parish that some of the smaller groups, if you've got less than £25,000 in your kind of running costs, you're not required to have audited accounts, I understand. So,
Just on the account of the...
yeah, but I think it might need rewording them, because the way it reads, it actually says,
Yeah,
a
it does
copy of
say
the most
audited
recent
accounts,
audited
yeah.
accounts. Well, if you're under £25,000, and I presume the play park will be in there, so how can you award a grant to the play park if they can't give you their latest set of audited accounts? Which
Yeah, I think we
you
need
were
to
not
then
expected
put...
to have
Yeah,
audited
we then...
accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
So
think
it'd be
we
helpful,
need
I
to
think,
clause it in.
if that could be changed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll read my question because it contains some dates and amounts, so if I can, for the sake of everybody, video and everything else, I'd like to have it right. I said on reviewing the annual parish council reports, it was noted by John Garbutt that some heavy invoices were expected following his report in May 2013 for repairs to the Hill Institute roof, for which the parish council is responsible for. The June 2013 accounts show an amount of £18,250.94 to Atkinson's Builders. The July 2013 accounts show another amount to Atkinson's for £6,074.93. The March 2014 accounts show a payment to Rydale Heating for a replacement boiler for £2,452.97. A total cost to the parish council of £26,778.84 spent on the Hill Institute. The Hill Institute is not shown on the parish council asset register, and as far as my inquiries go, is privately owned. An entry is shown on the August 2014 accounts for income from the Institute of £10,135.78. My question is, as this is public money apparently being spent on a privately owned building, could the parish council give some explanation?
Need to, yeah. We'll look into it and... Well, you can't expect me to respond on something that's 9 years old.
I haven't said anything.
No, that's
I haven't said anything. I asked a question, that's all.
Who was on the council at that time?
You'll be on.
So who manages the building?
The minutes have all disappeared from then because I've actually had a look.
Oh, that's very interesting, isn't it?
From who, sorry?
The minutes have all disappeared from that time. Well, from
Parish council.
the parish council minutes, they don't go back that far on the website.
Oh, well, we can put them up by law, we're only supposed to put from 2015.
Yeah, well, they used to be
which
up,
you
but-
know as a councillor.
Yes, here we go again. But they were taken off along with the agendas.
You don't need to look show the agendas following the minutes we put up, which you fully know as an ex-councillor.
Yeah, we've actually...
Why do you keep repeating as an ex-councillor?
You were,
Bloke
you
and
were
clerk.
one, and you were one when the roof was done.
Because it
That's
makes a
right,
point of
sir.
vexatious comments.
What, you're making a point that you're
No,
being
okay,
vexatious?
This is no longer helpful.
Why can't you just get
No,
on with
no,
us?
no, councillor, please. Just, let's leave it.
We'll look into that further.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we will report back with whatever we're finding. Okay.
If you can help me look into who manages what.
Can we?
We'll take it. Sorry?
I'd say it's just costing money. We can't get members of the public help a subcommittee, can we?
I think we'll do some initial inquiries
Right.
first. I think we'll do some initial inquiries and then we'll come back and we'll take it forward if we need to at that point. Okay. Hang on, where am I looking? Sorry, I do apologise.
Would it be possible, as a matter of course, at the start of the meeting?
Sorry, I'm struggling to hear. Can
Sorry.
you please not talk? Excuse me, please do not talk,
Sorry.
ladies.
Would it be possible to adopt a policy at the start of every meeting to just introduce yourselves? I'm presuming you're the clerk. I'm presuming you're the chair.
I think that's
I'm
fair.
presuming
We did at what
that's
we did,
Claire
yeah.
Old.
We did used to have labels, but some councillors have
And I
objected.
think
No, I
if
take
you're
your
going
point.
to attract new people into
Yeah,
the village
I take-
to these town meetings. I just think
I think that's
you
fair
need,
comment.
and also you said halfway through about another lady who was going to be coming along to help you in something, but she was just referred to as Liz, I think. I just think that needed some, even that person could have maybe introduced themselves to everybody else. That's
No, I
thank you.
think that's a fair point. Fair point.
So just first before I ask the question, it's great to see the councillors arrange as they are, so we can all see them. I'm really pleased to see us doing that. So the question is, I think you just raised it as well, around getting members of the public to help the parish council. So we asked some time ago about the parish plan. I know a number of people, more than was reported, volunteered their services for the parish plan. Heard nothing more since then. I think Councillor Markham, not finished the question. Councillor Markham mentioned about the grass cutting, and people used to do the grass cutting themselves. We have a village hub who have set off, they're quite happy to help in other things. You can have members of public involved in subcommittees helping the parish council. Will the parish council, and why is the parish council not doing more effort to get other members of the public in the village to help with the running of the parish?
Put something out for that, didn't we? For people to come forward for the...
We've had 3 emails and
Yeah.
we had 4 and 1 withdrawn.
So why were those 3 people not got back and says,
As I've said, as soon as we can get enough numbers, we'll do something.
but then during one of the meetings you said it's not for the parish council to decide, it's for the public to do. Yet the parish council are now deciding that 3 people isn't
No,
enough.
we're not. We're not
So-
saying we're not doing
Put
it.
forward.
But
So 3 people put forward for the parish plan. Now I think 3 people is enough to get things going and start the momentum. But I don't know who those other people. I put myself forward, but I don't know who the other people were. So how can I contact them to say let's get started? Because once we get started, we'll get more people involved.
Okay, well, perhaps the way forward, if we've had those 3 emails, if we've put those, well, so
We've got to ask them, we've got to ask their permission.
Yeah.
They might not want to work with you.
Who can blame
You fell in that trap.
Can we have to say that I have got, I mean, thanks David, you gave me a copy of the old parish plan that you were involved in.
It's on the web as well if anyone wants to.
Yeah, it was very helpful, David. But I just thought it is a very good document, very thorough, and if there are a group of people who are willing to get involved in that, I think that'd be, I mean, I'd happily get involved, Mark, if you really.
I won't bother with me.
And there is links to how it can be updated rather than rewritten.
Yeah.
So it'll take a lot of work.
Well, if the villagers are willing
No,
to
that's
do it.
fine. I mean, on the other hand, it is also, you know, if the village has a plan, it can be very beneficial to the village. So for them to be able to produce a plan would be advantageous, I would suggest. It's a question of how we get that contact made between the people that are saying, like, you know, yeah, we want to get involved in this. How can we do that? What do we say? Put your name on the, I don't know, where? On the website or where?
Well, at the public meeting, you could.
Yeah.
Put it on
So
there.
I'm prepared to put on things. I'm happy to work with and get the group formed and get going and write the terms of reference.
Just say how I started it last time. We had a public meeting at the village hall and announced it as a parish plan project. People went in, a committee was formed on the night and they carried it forward. Listen to the gent talking of 3 people. I can assure you, you need a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You'll probably not work or function with less than
Just
10
20.
people to do the ground.
Usually takes about
Plus,
20.
but
It's naive.
you need to bring it to a crux. You're not going to do it here.
No.
You need a public meeting, get everybody to it, and at the meeting, some firm guidelines. We want to come out with a committee, we want to come out with people who's going to work it, we want to have a commitment from everybody who's going to be involved with it. And that would be the parish council backing it when it's completed. You'll need national parks, you need the bus companies, you name it, the police. You need their involvement, otherwise it isn't going anywhere.
Can we advertise it on our website then? And I'll put it on the community page.
Thing is with that though, not everybody has Facebook.
No, yeah, no. That's
You know,
what
so
it's
it can be quite biased for some people.
Yeah.
And it just attracts certain people and not others.
You could also
Some
have a
people
board at the
Yeah.
parish
Yeah.
meeting, for people to put their names down,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
contact
Yeah, I
them.
think that might be the way
Yeah.
to do it. We have the parish meeting coming up.
Because not everyone's got the internet at home.
No.
A lot of people don't have computers. So,
Right, that's certainly something that we should put on the...
Can I just ask another question? You know, I mentioned back in December at the meeting there was a notice board in Dalby.
Yeah.
It's disappeared since I took.
That's what I heard that.
Well, so where's it gone? It's only
That was ours
you can
anyway.
it was ours. You can tell it's recently been taken down because of the screw marks. But it's interesting that you guys didn't know until I told you about it. But where has it gone?
Well, since we
Ask
didn't know
Derby
it was there,
residents.
we don't know where it's gone, because I assure you we haven't gone up at midnight and taken it down.
Well, it's strange that it's disappeared
You
overnight.
think I have gone up at midnight and taken
No,
it down?
I'm asking.
I assure you I've got better things to do in my time than that.
When I asked at the elections office, they said Dolby wasn't part of us.
Derby not part of us, right, so Derby's decided to take it down,
It's
didn't
part
they?
of Thornton, Thornton
I said, Dolby's not
They're not
part of
now,
us while we're paying for street lighting.
Yeah, they're not part of
They are part
When
of
I asked
us,
the
yeah.
girl there, she said...
We always do.
We're on Kirby Moor side.
No, we're in Kirby Moor side.
Anyway, I think we're in danger of going down a deep hole of our own making at the moment. Yeah. I mean,
They've changed it on.
well, the boundaries have changed slightly. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's what I don't understand.
I mean, I think we need to ask the question again, perhaps of somebody other than.
What I didn't understand was is why you didn't have a named council for that area. Normally when you have a village that part of, you have to have one named council for them, that's what I was asking about.
Yeah, we never have a, I thought that.
Yeah.
You don't actually.
Well,
You're not allowed to
I
talk,
think
do you?
the public part of the meeting is now finished.